The problem of bullying in schools is not a new one, although it does seem to have gotten worse since students have become more dependent on their smartphones. Here's a story about how DECA students here at Heritage have taken positive steps to prevent destructive behavior before it becomes a problem.
For some students, it's tough just getting through the school day. The threat of being bullied awaits them at school, and it follows them home with cyberbullying over their smartphones and computers. Many just take it, internalize it, but there's another way to handle this challenge for students.
Feeling safer is like you feel comfortable coming to school.
Victor Duran and Alyssa Ferguson are taking the time and effort to help be part of the solution. They are students at Heritage High School, and they're spreading the word that there's a way to deal with the bullying.
We decided that going out and reaching out to the 8th graders was going to be the best way to reach out about anti-bullying, especially with all the issues that's been happening around our area.
They're involved in DECA, short for Distributive Education Clubs of America, an international marketing association for students and teachers. Victor and Alyssa are talking to these students at Covington and Frontier Middle Schools who will attend Heritage High School next year. As marketing students at Heritage, Victor and Alyssa tap the leadership skills they learn in class to mentor students who may be struggling with bullying. They offer their advice on how to prevent the behavior. This talk at Covington Middle School is just one of 14 visits Victor and Alyssa have made to 8th grade classes.
There wasn't really an identification on what was going on to solve the problem. And so as student leaders, a lot of us felt like we had the necessity to be able to protect our school, make sure that this is still a fun and safe environment to be around. And Frontier and Covington are future high schoolers of Heritage High School, so being able to reach out to them and solving their issues that they have within their school and teaching them the proper life skills that it takes to be in high school.
To take the discussion to a deeper level of understanding, they tell the students about their personal experiences with bullying, encouraging them to open up and share their own stories, getting them to see that they're not alone in this.
So we went to the middle schools and we talked with them, we sat down with them, we kind of just made the environment safe. We closed the doors, we made sure that they knew that everything that was said within that room would stay in that room.
I talked about issues that I had when I was in middle school and elementary school, and even some in high school, about me being bullied. I told them that I was bullied about my height. I told them just a lot of other factors about issues that I went through. You know, I wasn't the type of crier. You know, I just more of like, I didn't want to tell them like, you know, can you knock it off? That bugs me. So I was showing them that it was okay to open up about myself and accept my, factors of my life. And it kind of led them into them opening up a little more as well.
And as soon as we started sharing experiences of our own lives, they started, becoming involved as well. They started opening up. People would kind of get emotional, cry a little bit.
This talk at Covington is just the initial contact. It's a way to steer them towards DECA's more in-depth Breaking the Barriers workshop, a safe environment where students can open up to each other and to these mentors to share their feelings, develop empathy, and gain an understanding of why people bully in order to prevent it. This newfound insight is not just for those being bullied, but for students who realize they're hurting others by acting out the abusive behavior.
So breaking the barriers, everybody really has barriers that they hide behind. They build up walls, they kind of hide from people. They don't share their full lives stories with people. And so we really wanted to break down those walls and have people feel safe, and just not only within Heritage, but with each other as well, because we really want to build that connection and those relationships with people and have that go out into our community.
I felt very confident in Alyssa and Victor being able to go to the 8th graders, to be able to reach out. I always think it's important for our high school kids to reach down to middle schoolers and elementary, because I do think there's a lot of connection in the mentoring there.
For students like Alyssa and Victor, this effort to reach incoming Heritage students is also a learning experience. It helps them develop their marketing and leadership skills, called soft skills, where they learn to interact with others in a professional manner. Perez says it's very effective in preparing them for life after school.
All the employers that I talk to want soft skills, which are handshakes, not using slang, professional leaders. So those are the things that I really focus on throughout all the activities in my curriculum. Professionally dressed, professional words. So it just starts to become who they are. I've had Victor for 4 years, from a freshman all the way through a senior, and Alyssa 3. So this is something they've heard from me every day for the last 3 to 4 years.
While Victor and Alyssa are the faces of the DECA Club, there are nearly 50 other students working behind the scenes on the Breaking the Barriers project. Some of these students are juniors who will be organizing projects similar to this one next year. For now, club members help design the workshop activities and devise the questions to lead middle school students in the discussions. They also fundraise to help pay for the activities through the selling of items like these DECA bracelets. And the mentoring to middle schoolers doesn't end with the Breaking the Barriers event. Victor and Alyssa correspond with the students they've talked to, and those students write back. It's a way to reaffirm what's accomplished during the Breaking the Barrier activities.
We really just wanted to go and make an impact on them. And when they were committing, when they were sitting in the gym at our event and saying, I'm going to take this back to my school, I really want to change, I want to be a better person, I'm not going to judge people just by my first impression of them.
I know that most of my students that I've had for 2, 3, 4 years all learned about wanting to leave a legacy when they left Heritage. And for Victor and Alyssa, Breaking the Barriers was the legacy they wanted to leave. They wanted to know when they graduated and they crossed that stage that some 8th graders coming in the following year would remember that people took the time to come over and find out who they are, what they're fearful of, maybe stuff that's happened, and that could understand and say, when you come to Heritage, you're going to be accepted.
Through mentoring projects like Breaking the Barriers, motivated student leaders can have a major impact in creating a positive environment in their school. At Heritage, it's a legacy that's expected to carry on for future students for years to come.